Today's video is gonna be all my favorite places in Seattle for like food or drinks, and I'm really excited about this. I put together a list of mainly the places that I go most often, that I like throw my money at, my actual faves as a local that I really think if you were visiting or you do live here that you could try out. A few of them I think will be a little bit different. Maybe you haven't been here if you do currently live in Seattle. And obviously if you're just visiting for the first time, that they're really great options. I'm excited to share my faves with you, so let's jump in. Okay, for my first category, we're gonna talk coffee. Coffee is like, if you're coming to Seattle and you're not drinking coffee, then you're really just missing the essence of Seattle. And if you're visiting Seattle, I mean, I get it, like you want to go to the original Starbucks. There are so many better places out there. My list is not going to include Starbucks, sorry. Number one is going to be in Pioneer Square, and that's kind of more like the historic district of Seattle and pretty close to Pike Place. And there's a lot of opportunity for photos, kind of like Instagram-y vibe with all the brick buildings. Elm is just so delicious. They have like such great coffee. When you walk in, you can see kind of where they roast the beans. That's actually where we get our coffee for day-to-day espresso. We make it at home. It's so delicious. It's a little bit snug in there, so depending on when you get there, there may not be a table for you to sit at. So just keep that in mind. There is a bar, so there's some bar stools that you can sit at as well. But if you're not able to sit down, definitely take it to go and just walk around the area, the district, because it's so beautiful. Number two, oh, that looked like four. Okay, two. Number two is going to be Milstead. So that's going to be over by the Fremont Troll. If you're visiting Seattle and you're kind of wanting to do like a tourist attraction, the troll under the bridge from movie 10 Things I Hate About You is over there. You just walk straight up the hill from Milstead and you're there. You go in, there's actually much more seating. A lot of locals go there for like work or for school or something, but there's pretty good seating, and the view of the Fremont Bridge is so beautiful. Where they also have the most incredible lemonade ever for the summer. I don't know how they do it. If you don't like coffee, just go and get a lemonade. It's so good. It's a little on the sweeter side, but unlike me, I don't really like sweet, but I am obsessed with it. It's so good. And then you can just walk around the area. There's just so much going on in Fremont. Lots of good food, drinks, breweries, etc. The final coffee place that I want to recommend is actually a new spot in Magnolia, and it is a Star Wars themed coffee shop. It's called the Outer Rim, and it is just so cute. They've really designed it so beautifully. They're a local business, so I'm all about supporting them. Their coffee is really good. They have plenty of seating. I don't think I've ever gone in there and I've seen it like packed where there's no table. It's a great place for kids too, if you have kids with you or you're like a family. There's so many fun little ties to sci-fi, Star Wars, etc. And the owner is just so sweet. Okay, drink break. Okay, moving to category two, which is breakfast. Everybody kind of has a different idea of breakfast when they're looking for a place. For me, typically I like more on the light side. I don't really eat a big breakfast. So hopefully this will give you kind of a variety, but number one is Petite Pierre, and that is in Magnolia. So Petite Pierre is a bakery, so incredible. It's almost like when you go into downtown Magnolia, you don't expect to find like the best bakery in all of Seattle, but it is down there and it is so incredible. I've just been spoiled. When I was in San Diego, I used to go to Darshan, which was in Del Mar, and they had the butteriest, flakiest croissants ever. They were so good. The cheese ones, if you're ever in San Diego, you got to get the cheese croissants. They're so good. I was on the hunt for the best croissant for so long, and it was literally in my backyard. It's so good. Every single season they switch out, so they have different seasonal approaches to their pastries. So like for example, in the summer they do a lot of strawberry inspired pastries. Like in the fall transition they do a lot of like fig, and like in the winter there's like apples and pears and things like that. So It's really fun because every time you go back, there's like a slightly different variation of your favorite. Even just the plain croissant, it's so buttery, flaky. It's so good. Downtown Magnolia is so sweet and cute. It's just like a very wholesome, almost like small town vibe. So it's great if you have a family and you just want to kind of get away from the city, even though you're not too far from the city. Walk around and see kind of like the cute little shops over there. And they do have coffee as well. Personally, I don't think it's like the greatest coffee ever, but it is another option if you're wanting to kind of get it all in one. They have amazing cookies, macarons, and just like a few sandwich options as well. Number 2 for breakfast is going to be Saint Bread. And this is going to be over by the University of Washington. We call it UW, the UW hospital over there. On the water, and there's boats. So it looks like almost like a little house, and I believe it is Catholic inspired. Saint Bread is really good for like if you want to get a quick pastry. They're very delicious, a little bit different than what you'd find in other places in Seattle. And then they also have a lot of like egg breakfast sandwiches, avocado toast. They have even just like lunch options, which is great, but I mainly like to go for breakfast. They have a bunch of picnic tables outside, so plenty of seating. However, be mindful that the line is typically long to get in and order your food. If you have places that you need to be, just kind of plan ahead a little extra time. It is really beautiful, especially in the summertime. I know they add evening portion in the summer where there's like a food truck and you can go hear music and have drinks and just bringing more people over during the evening time. So that's also a great option if you're wanting to kind of get a different experience than breakfast. And then the third place that I'm going to recommend is actually a little bit different than the other two that I was talking about. So this is called 5 Spot. And 5 Spot is kind of a dinery breakfast place in Queen Anne. They have incredible potatoes, like a seasoning on it, like paprika or something. It's so good. It's a pretty large breakfast, so if you're wanting something like that, a little bit more substantial, it's also great for families. On the weekends, it does get pretty crazy busy. You could be also waiting to get in, but I mean, what breakfast place are you not waiting typically on the weekend? Very casual. Anytime I'm craving like an actual sit down breakfast place, I go here. Now we are on lunch. Do you eat lunch? Does anybody eat lunch? Sometimes I'll have breakfast or I'll have lunch. Like I'll just pick one. Maybe that's because I just overeat and I can't control myself. Number 1 that I want to talk about is Mr. West. In Mr. West, there are multiple locations downtown, or you can go to University Village. Downtown one is so cute. However, there's no parking. Like it is very challenging to find parking. It is very beautiful in that location. Lots of seating, lots of people watching. The thing I don't like about that location is that they don't have like the bar availability that University Village offers. I would recommend going to U Village. It's just a little bit further away. There's Free People, Sephora, Crate and Barrel, just like a bunch of shopping in that area. That's actually the one place that I recommend anyone go shopping if they're wanting to go to like a mall situation. I feel like over time shopping in Seattle just hasn't really like evolved. But U Village is nice. It's different. It's like an open air shopping center. Mr. West is part of that shopping center, and then you can order like a drink with lunch or coffee with lunch or whatever you want to order. One of my favorites is their spring salad or summer salad, I believe it is. It's so good. They put so many different herbs in it. It's chopped so well. I honestly think it's so dumb that I'm hyping up a salad so much, but it's so good. They also have great breakfast options if you wanted to stop in there for breakfast, but I would definitely stop by for lunch if you're shopping and you kind of just want to grab a quick bite. And it's very Instagram-y, so there's a lot of cute little areas that you can take little photos. So definitely check it out. My number 2 lunch spot is going to be Little Water Cantina. This is a Mexican restaurant that is on the water, so you get to watch boats go by, you get to see like paddleboarders in the summer, kayakers. It's just a great vibe, especially when it's a hot day. Nice because they have a cover, so they used to not, and you just like fry out there, but now it's covered. It's really relaxing and definitely great for summer vibes if you're wanting to be out on a patio. You sit down and order yourself and you check out yourself, and they just bring food out to you. So it's super easy. You're not really like talking to people that much. There's plenty of seating. So if you have like a family or something, great option. The food is really, really good. I will either get like the fish tacos or the vegetarian tacos. The vegetarian tacos are so good. They have like crispy fried onions on top. I don't know what this was. And they're chips and salsa, chips and guac. Amazing. If you do go and you're wanting a drink, I know I sound kind of like an alcoholic right now, but like if you want a drink, get a margarita. They will not steer you wrong. I always get like the Verde margarita and I make it spicy. Ugh, it is so good. Probably one of my favorite margaritas in all of Seattle. So that's saying something. Kind of staying on theme for my 3rd lunch place is being outside. I think I just like being outside during lunchtime, especially during the summertime, because it's sunny, it's nice, I want to kind of get the fresh air, I want to get out. So the 3rd place that I want to talk about is Westward. Westward is also a restaurant that's on the water. This one is a little bit different though, because you can see like the Space Needle, Lake Union is so beautiful. It's a little bit more upscale. At the same time, you don't really feel uncomfortable if you're underdressed. A lot of people will order like a plate of oysters and sip on a cocktail, or just, it's definitely all seafood. So if you're not a seafood lover, you probably wouldn't love it, but if you're in Seattle, like it is all about the seafood. So if you want to sit on a patio, enjoy the vibe, I recommend going to Westward. It is so delicious. Plenty of parking outside the restaurant too. So if you drive out, a bunch of parking on like the side of the road. So great option. Also beautiful if you wanted to go for date night in the evening, because the inside is actually really beautiful as well. I just really enjoy the patio. We're going into dinner. Probably one of my favorite categories. Well, they're all pretty much my favorite. I love food. My first place is going to be How to Cook a Wolf, and this is an Ethan Stoll restaurant in Queen Anne. He actually has a bunch of different places all over Seattle, but this is probably my favorite one. Pro tip, if you go to Costco, you can actually get gift cards and save a little bit of money. So just FYI, please don't buy them all because I do that. Actually have an outside area as well that's covered. I enjoy going there even in the winter time because they heat it. You can sit outside and kind of have a heater, and it's a little bit more romantic, but the inside is also very, very beautiful. It's just a little small. I recommend making a reservation if possible. A lot of their food is kind of like smaller. What we usually do is we'll just order a bunch of things and share them. The pasta tends to be a little bit larger. You could probably just get like one plate and split that, but many of the other things you'll definitely want to get more than you think you need to get, as they tend to focus more on the quality, and they're just very beautifully put together. Very delicious. I highly would recommend the bread and butter with the garlic. So good. The ahi crudo, so delicious. I love the fish. I've had the fish. Any fish that they make is so delicious. Pasta. Very delicious cocktails. Very skilled bartenders. So you would be in good hands, but it's very romantic in there. I wouldn't necessarily recommend for a family, just because it is a little bit more of a date night place. Number 2, this place that I'm going to talk about is probably one that a lot of people are aware of in Seattle, which is called Sanfo. And this is an Italian restaurant that is in Ballard. Ballard is a very cute neighborhood. I used to live there, so I'm a little bit biased, but I love it over there. It's very quirky, lots of little stores and shops, food, drinks, etc. It's just a very fun place to go. They also have a beautiful Sunday market if you're ever wanting to go to a market in Seattle on Sunday. I would highly recommend the Ballard one. It's a really cute, kind of like, it looks like a house, like a cute little charming romantic Italian house. I can't even explain it, but definitely make a reservation. I think maybe one time I walked up and got lucky. They may not even be able to put you on a waiting list. So just make a reservation if you are planning to try this out. It is very, very cute. There's some tables sitting outside. It kind of looks a little southern in a way. And then inside, obviously, it's very beautiful. You can see everybody expediting as you walk in. The cooks are cooking and it's very open. It feels very warm. They hand make their pasta and it is so delicious. And the final dinner place that I wanted to mention is actually a sushi place called Momiji. There are multiple locations in Seattle. I really love the one in Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is a fun and quirky area as well. A lot of people enjoy visiting that area when they are traveling to Seattle. So if you are up there for dinner, I would highly recommend stopping in Momiji. They are a sushi bar, and I think if you go to Seattle and you don't have sushi, you're kind of doing it wrong. Just saying. We have such great seafood that I would highly recommend checking out a sushi place, but specifically, I think this is the best one. Parking can be a little tricky, so just be mindful. It may take a little bit to find a parking spot in the area, but then when you walk through the restaurant, there's actually this huge like garden in a what are those called? What is it, like a terrarium? I don't know, but it's so beautiful, very like zen. I would recommend this place for a date night or like friends night, but I think you could probably take a family there too. I've seen, it was so cute. I've seen actually like a dad and son eating there together, which I thought was really cool. It's just typically kids don't really eat sushi, so I think I would probably see more of like a couple or friends going here for dinner, but great option. And they have really good cocktails too. If you're wanting to check out a sushi place for dinner in Seattle, definitely check out Momiji. Okay, we're about to get into like the good stuff, the really, really good stuff. So I want to do the last two categories. The last two categories are going to be, I mean, some of the hardest ones for me to narrow down, but nevertheless, so good. So we're going to start with drinks, specifically alcoholic. I don't drink mocktails, so I wouldn't be able to vouch for that. But for alcoholic drinks, if you're looking to go out, these are my top three. The first one is going to be M Bar, located in South Lake Union, and they have the most incredible patio. The view, I would say, is better than most views downtown. So awesome. You get an amazing view and you get yummy drinks. Parking can be tricky too. You're in downtown, so you kind of have to be mindful of that depending on the time of day. It's a little bit interesting how you get into the bar, so don't be like thrown off like you're missing it. You basically go into this area that has a bunch of different like restaurants, almost like a food court, and then you'll get to a concierge who's gonna direct you down a hallway to an elevator where you're gonna go up to the actual restaurant. So it's kind of like hidden, but also most people know about M Bar. It is so beautiful. They have just done such a great job with not just the indoor area but the outdoor area. I would say it is just so much fun to go during the summertime because you can sit in the uncovered area, have drinks, look at the Space Needle, look at Lake Union. Great for photos if you're wanting to take like an Instagram photo. The drinks are so good. It is a bit pricey, so I mean you're kind of paying for the view. Just keep that in mind. The drinks are a little on the pricier side, but I would highly recommend if you're like, I want to go out for drinks, like this is definitely the place to be. Plenty of seating, but does fill up for good reason. Okay, the second place that I want to talk about is great all year round because it's inside the Amazon domes. So it's actually a little confusing when you're trying to find it, but when you see the domes, you'll like go to the side and there's a little door that you're going to go into and follow a hallway down to this kind of like dark area where the hostess will help you find a seat. This is another one where I would say if you don't have a reservation, you're really risking not being able to have a drink. They may be able to put you on a wait list, but again, it's, you know, it depends on the day and the time. So just be mindful of that. But it is a very dark, sultry type of vibe. So if you're wanting to go have drinks in a vibe like that, then definitely check this place out. But I would say it's more of a romantic vibe. I mean, you can go with your girlfriends or guy friends, but the vibe I get is more like couples, romance kind of vibe. So definitely a good option. We have gone with Matt's sister and mom, and we got like the big couch that we could sit in off to the side, and that was a great it was a great experience. So you can just make a reservation in advance. Bartenders, they're just so good at what they do. It's an experience for sure. Yeah, so good. Such a great place to go and have some drinks. The food is overpriced. I hope no one comes for me, but I would just say just come here for drinks, nightcap, whatever it may be. Also, they have, their decorations are so cool. It's kind of like almost like taxidermy or something like that. There's just a lot of like little knickknacks and like crafty things, but like it feels like you're in like this speakeasy like nook with lots of books around, and you can smell the smoke from the smoker when people are getting those drinks, and it's just such a fun vibe. And the final place that I'm going to recommend is actually a really unique place called Pacific Standard Time, so PST, which is so perfect. So it's actually like a pho shop, and then they open this upstairs area where you take the stairs up, and there's like kind of like a hidden bar, and it's so cool because not only are their drinks incredible, but you can order pho, and it's like comes in this cute little like ramen container almost, and you're just eating pho at a bar, and it's just so cool, and I feel like it's unique. You can also sit downstairs and just eat pho, but it's just like a fun hidden place up there. This is another place though that, I mean, I'm always like going to like the cool places to drink, but if you're going, you know, be mindful of the time, because once they open at 5, like I've gone where it's just like completely full right away, and then other times no, like there's only like one other person there. It's pretty small, so if it gets full, you're gonna be unfortunately waiting, and they're not gonna make anyone rush through their drinks, so you could be waiting for a while. Just FYI. My favorite category of this whole thing, dessert. Every girl likes a sweet treat, right? Who doesn't? The first place, I actually showed this in my top 5 hotels. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it below. But I showed Fran's, which is one of the chocolate places here in Seattle. There are so many good ones, by the way. This is not like the only great chocolate place. They have these truffles, and they're just so luxurious and creamy and delicious. Whenever Matt and I go, we just like want to eat all of them. We love going for Christmas, but we'll find ourselves there all year long. They have a location obviously at the Four Seasons Hotel, which was in my previous video. They also have a location at U Village. So if you're over there shopping and you want to stop in and get dessert for later in your hotel room, I know I like to like have my little treats when I'm my night routine at the end of the day when I'm traveling. Definitely stop in and get some yummy chocolates. They also have these like candied orange chocolates that are so delicious. Like, I just can't get enough of it. There's some other great options for chocolate in Seattle, like Theo, that's a great one that's in Fremont, like Seattle Chocolate Company, those are all like so good. But Fran's is like I have to get it. I have to just get their truffles. They're just so bomb. Do people say bomb anymore? Is that like offensive? Number two. Okay, I don't know if this is technically a dessert, but I didn't really know where this would fit because it's technically not an alcoholic drink or coffee. But my second dessert place would be Tiger Sugar, which is boba. And personally, I feel like if you're having like a sugar bomb or a really sweet drink, it's a dessert to me. So yeah, they have an amazing black tea with boba, and it's like vanilla in it. I think it's like the T4 or the T6 if you're ordering it. But it is downtown, so it's right like across from Target. If you are downtown, just pick it up and grab it. Like, it is so good. They have a kiosk, so you come in, order what you want, and they're just like on it. It's super quick. I've had boba in Seattle, like from a bunch of different places that are highly recommended to me, but for some reason I just don't like it. Tiger Sugar, their flavors, I don't know what kind of vanilla they use or how they make their tea, or even just like what kind of boba maybe that they're using, but it is just so different than all the other bobas that I've had, and I would highly recommend trying it out. I know my sister is like not into boba whatsoever, but she did enjoy it, so definitely check it out if you are downtown and looking for kind of like a drink treat. Some of them are much sweeter than others. Mine is not, the one that I order is not that sweet, but there are many that are more on the sweet side. And my final favorite, I'm a chocolate lover, so anytime I'm getting dessert, it's probably going to be something with chocolate. In Seattle, we actually have a place called Hot Cakes, and there's a couple different locations. So there's one in Capitol Hill, one in Ballard. The Ballard one is my favorite. I have a tie to Ballard. I love that area, but going over there, getting this like molten, I think it's called Dark Decadence, molten chocolate cake with ice cream, and it is just like, I feel like you're just like, and you know how they say like it's sinfully good? I feel like that's how it is. Like, I'm just taking a bite and I'm just like feeling like I'm doing something naughty, you know? It's just so good. This is definitely an indulgence. It's not gonna be like light sweet or light calories. It's like, you want a dessert, you want molten chocolate, you're getting your ice cream and your molten chocolate. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you like this video, or you're gonna try out some of these places, or maybe you've tried them and you're like, I know that's good, she knows what's up, like this video, give it a thumbs up. Put in the comments below if you are planning on trying one of these places, or you have an experience that you want to share. I'd love to hear about it. But hopefully you liked this video, you found it fun just to chat, sit down and talk about food. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me on my channel, and I'm looking forward to more videos to come. Until next time, love you guys, bye.